Okay, so today we're going to be exploring compact rubber brush. We have one version which is the same width as regular rush or official rush, and then we have a more tapery, thinned out version. I figured that wouldn't be an issue in terms of performance other than saving a bit of stamina because of how aggressive rubber is. So we're going to be testing this one out with Dranzer, otherwise known as the GOAT, with the 660 versus our, nothing special, the usual Wizard Rod 360. But here's the kicker. I think this is what's really going to push Wizard Rod over the edge in terms of OWD and LAD. Load needle. It is a disc bit in the needle family. It actually might be a little short, so you might, I think it's going to do some elevate. I think I modeled it actually after elevate, so it might do that function. But it got some metal bits in there. I didn't have any steel BBs, so I actually prefabricated some makeshift bits of metal to stuff in there. And for proof of concept, you can actually spin it as if it was a regular, what do they call it in Japan? Bakutens? Or bay. Comment in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. So we're going to test that. Ooh, that came to a crawling halt. That'll be really interesting. I don't think Dranzer's going to outdo, but we'll see. We'll put them on the super short bit. CRR is, and it's going to be hard to tell, but I'm going to try and put it in the light for comparison. It's roughly a millimeter shorter. The overall shaft length is actually makes it longer in total, but I'm counting for when it's sticking outside of a ratchet. It is compatible mostly with 660s because of the physical difference I made. It can work with 480s. Let me just pull a 480 here, or any 80 height. But what I find tends to happen is you can actually press it through. Not that would happen in a battle. So you could use it on a 80 height, but it might have some unintended bound function if it were to slam really hard into the stadium. But for the purposes of this testing, we're going to be using 660 Dranzer. Here we go. That is so interesting how it does one circle and comes to a complete halt. Go shoot. And that is the thing. That's the other thing I did not mention with the compact format. It has low resistance for a couple of reasons. One being, when you put a bit in, you shouldn't have to take it apart and then pop it out to swap out bits. That's not how you're supposed to do things. And two, if it was high resistance, it would be too hard to take out. I guess this would be a third reason, is that as a countermeasure, I made it low resistance to kind of make the bit not overpowered, as it were, because ostensibly the lower you make a bit, the more powerful, in broad terms speaking, the more powerful it is in terms of buffs. I like to use the term buffs. And then I broke my own rule by making disc load needle. This thing, I think, is just straight up overpowered. So, but this is just going to be a fun battle. I think I heard something. Oh, that is funny. I lost 2 metal. I did not super glue them in. We'll work with it. We'll work with two metal pieces. See how we do. Oh, it's doing a lot more circles now. The Dranzer is really aggressive, but he just got pocketed right away. I'm actually going to do it again. And Dranzer just does not have that stamina. We're down to 1 metal piece. Yeah, this is really just because I did not super glue the metal in. But we're going to try and just work with it anyway, because even given that, it's still like elevate. It's like a more defensive elevate. Yeah, I didn't want to waste the bit on pieces of metal that weren't steel BBs. I just didn't have any steel BBs kicking around. Look at that though. It still rides the rail just fine. I personally think that Dranzer would work better on the other one, the wider compact brush. Let's try that one. Oh, there goes the last bit. Ah! Yeah. So if you can find a combo that it's not the end all be all bit, and that's by design. So he just maybe 960 would work better. We can put it on a 960. If only I had come prepared. That'd be nice. Ah, there we go, 960. Put it on my completely white 960 for the Dranzer. There we go. A really hard hit. That was a nice burst. I heard it started rattling as soon as it did that one extreme dash. Yeah, the jury's out on what Dranzer is really supposed to do, because it's so wide, yet it's so lightweight. So it gets really tossed around, almost like a whip by the rubber piece there. We'll give it one more battle. I'm going to say that didn't count. Why? Because I said so. Okay, so that actually kind of worked. 960 CRR, let's go. All right, comment, subscribe if you like the video, and be sure to leave a 5-star rating, and I will leave a link in the description.